Actually, when it started, we were very young people still thought that CPD is, well, it is too lofty for us, people like, mundane people like us. Then when our friends, Mustafiz and, Bhattacharya, they started getting into important positions here, then we found that yes, it's something where we can reach also. And then since then we have been in touch with the organization. This organization, in my opinion, has done wonders. You see, there is a very good connection also. What is this 30 years period for Bangladesh? We had just got over the periods of instability, periods of military rule, etc., and the period in which 7% of our GDP was basically foreign aid. This is the period, these 30 years of CPD coincides with the period when Bangladesh came out of the notion of bottomless basket, came out of the notion of being a very poor country, and it has, Bangladesh has done wonders during these 30 years. It's a coincidence, and I'm sure that everyone, every organization contributed to it, including, of course, CPD. Now, I think that is a great thing to do, because during this time, CPD has established itself as really the #1 research institution in the country. And the number of publications they have made, the studies they have made, have done a lot of good for the country, the economy, maybe also a little bit politics. We still have to see. To make it very short, I'll just say a few words about what CPD can do. See, we have had a revolution, by whatever name we call it. We have had a revolution, and when a revolution occurs, initially there would be chaos, there would be some instability, and that period was very small. Very quickly, the present government that was brought in took care of the situation. We re-established more or less an order, even without any police people. It's the students who started doing their duties. And then, of course, the police came in, they have left the streets. So in three and a half months' time, a lot of things have been done. And we were thinking that, well, we are past the worst phase, and maybe we look to the real things for which this government is here. Some reforms, then one election, and then a political government again. But just look at the last week or so, and we have a real serious problem. The media, particularly in India, had been very unhappy, I would say, with the revolution that has taken place. But now it has turned into in a sort of organized propaganda, not only in India but all over the world, to prove that Bangladesh is going to become some sort of a state where the minorities are oppressed. Then the Taliban type of government as if is coming into being, etc., etc. This is very unfair. This is very unfair, and well, the world is not a fair place. Let us face the reality. This is unfair, and Bangladesh people actually feel that they are being victimized for no fault of themselves. And the bad thing about this is that as these vitriolics continue, the sentiments start hardening. This doesn't give anything good to any party. Some people who would have been much more suave, much more reasonable, rational, they would not find their voice. Rather, the people who want to have a hardened position, they find this situation more conducive. So this doesn't benefit anyone. This doesn't benefit Bangladesh. This doesn't benefit India. What I think that Sir has raised the issue of what CPD can do in the coming days. I think one important thing CPD can do is that CPD has very good connections, not only in South Asia, but beyond also. And I think the role that they could play, it's just thinking aloud. Of course, there are much more brilliant people in CPD who can really chart their way. But what I think is that CPD could use its connections to actually put up the real picture, what exactly is happening in Bangladesh, among their friends, among our friends, among Bangladesh friends, and not to friends even, and give them the idea about what Bangladesh is doing, what the real situation is, and what it is, what the path ahead of Bangladesh is. I think if CPD can do that, and I am confident that they can, there are people all over the world, all over the region, who are reasonable, who are rational, and CPD needs to perhaps reach out to them as a 2 or 1.5, whatever you call it, so that the situation, it helps to cool down the situation and allow all players to play their real roles. I think I would stop there. Thank you, sir.